Morning, everybody. Cheers
To the best day ever.
to the best day ever.
Oh, by the way, I hope you guys had good Valentine's yesterday. And we're going to do a sound check in the first couple seconds because we tend to sometimes have audio issues. But while we're waiting for
I
everybody
think
to jump
they can
on.
hear us. Good morning. Yes, while everybody's jumping on, Hoosier Warrior Coffee sent us a new coffee. Basic training. It has quickly become my favorite. I like to have this with about 2 tablespoons, maybe even 3 tablespoons of butter in the morning. 1 cup with butter. I do a pour over and it is amazing. I've already had my cup this morning. This is sparkling water.
Which, by the way, they do not sponsor us. We just really like their coffee. They're a
like their
vet-owned
coffee?
company.
Yeah, they're community members, you know.
Yep. So we like to talk about them every so often.
How did you like the trailer? Was the trailer pretty good? I thought it was good. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
That was funny.
If a woodchuck could chuck wood. I almost couldn't say it.
What's funnier is he was making fun of the fact that he's losing his job because of Doge.
Well, I think woodchucks. I think it was all a joke.
Yeah, it was
actually.
a joke. It was funny, though. Let's get into it, you guys, though. Let's start with USAID and all the stuff that's been going on with Doge.
The government slush fund.
Yes, man.
Unbelievable. Was it PBC? Is that right? Is that the UK news? All the news networks that are getting kickbacks.
Politico. I want to get into that a
man.
little bit. You want to start there?
Yeah, start there.
So I want to read some of this to you guys then. So if you guys know, it came out, and so not Wikipedia, WikiLeaks has been a little bit quiet ever since he got out of jail, and so I think a lot of people were wondering would he actually put stuff out there again. He and his company. Well, he did a bombshell this week. It says the USAID has pushed nearly $500 million, to be exact, 472.6 million, through a secretive U.S. government-financed, non-government. It's like one of those nonprofit things. It's called Internews Network. I had never heard of it, so I started looking it up, and it is actually in 30 different countries, including U.S., London, Paris, Kyiv, Bangkok, all these different ones. And the person who runs it used to work for the Moscow embassy, and she pays herself $451,000 a year. That's incredible. And what they do is they basically control the news and propaganda across the world in 30 different countries. And this is from the USAID. You tell me that's not controlled media? I think that is.
For sure. George Soros and all of his cronies, they've been taking full advantage of this. And now it's just like the cartoon I put where before the video started of how bad this is for the American people, right? This is so awful. Chuck Schumer. There's nothing but good that's going to come from getting away from this. It's a complete circle. Give money, it comes right back. Give money to foreign whatever, and it comes right back to their pockets. There's no downside to getting away from this as far as possible. Here's what I want to happen.
Well, I think it's truthfully, I think they're finding out that it's a laundering mechanism that they are using to get kickbacks to their.
Absolutely,
even
100%.
Zelensky said the other day that he wasn't even getting the money. It was going to the defense contractors in America who were the buddies of congressmen, and then the stuff was getting shipped overseas to him. So it's just a money laundering department.
I hope that
Sounds like
somebody is held responsible. That would be it'll be the first time in my adult life that anybody's held responsible.
That's not true. The guy the other day, remember, what's his name? He just got sentenced to, is it 11 years? Senator of Congress. You guys put it in the comments if you can remember. I cannot remember he's one of the first ones, and he was actually on TV pretty much begging Trump for a pardon. I forget his name. Man, I can't remember his name right now. All right.
Well, proceed.
So what's the next one that you want to talk about then? So let's continue on with that. So keep going on with Doge and all that kind of stuff. They're going to cut education department more than $900 million. There's a lot of controversy on this. They're saying the U.S. Department of Education verified Tuesday. So we're kind of doing a recap.
Menendez.
That's it, Menendez. That's it. Thank you.
J. Roop.
Yes.
J. Roop.
Yes, and he was actually. You guys saw his his video that he was after he got sentenced, he was basically begging Trump for a pardon. But the U.S. Department of Education verified Tuesday the Department of Government DOGE has canceled 89 institutes for education sites, multi-year contracts totaling about $900 million, and 29 contracts related to diversity, equity, inclusion, all that kind of stuff, $101 million. And they're just swearing in, I think, or trying to confirm the Department of Education, the new person or whatever. She comes with a really high recommendation. But I love it that they're going through and cutting this. And they're even saying, give it more back to the states where the government doesn't have as much control over our education, which I like.
He's really, Elon Musk and Trump, man, you're talking about some high achievers, you know? They're getting into their pocketbook.
They're getting into a lot of people's pocketbooks.
Right, everybody that's included. And there's one thing, and I actually told this to a guy the other day that I thought was my friend. When you mess with wealthy people's money,
oh yeah,
I've known a couple of people that have embezzled money. I'm talking big money. They stole from rich people, and they didn't live very long. They might have died in prison. They might have died. People that were a part of it ended up killing themselves. I don't know. I can only speculate on what happened, but when you do this kind of stuff, I mean, it's probably best to see it all the way through and lock these wackos up. I hope that's what happens.
Well, it seems to be they even get more prison sentences than even child molesters.
Yeah.
When you mess with rich people's money,
oh man,
you're on a warpath, and that's what they're doing right now. I mean, they are literally screaming out insanity.
They're losing it.
Yep.
There's nothing they can do besides just lie about what it is. And as far as these pardons go, I heard something earlier that I really want to talk about, but I'm not sure if it's true. It's about how the pardons were unconstitutional, and you kind of have to. You can't just give future pardons. Like, hey, by the way, if I'm the president, Stacey, she's pardoned for everything from now on. She's free to go. So I'm gonna do that before I get out of office. That's crazy to me. Anyway, if you know anything about that, let me know. I really want to get down to the bottom of that.
Well, I tried fact checking it, and I cannot prove it. So that's the reason I said let's not really go down that rabbit hole right now.
I plan on. I hope that these pardons end up being poppycock, and it's just wrong. It's got to be. That would be wonderful, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Okay, keep going.
All right, well, let's keep going on where we're saving money, because I'm really excited. And if you go to that debt program, it has the debt. You can watch it. It shows it ticking as the seconds go by. They've added the Doge thing on it to the money that we're saving as the seconds go by.
Wow.
Oh, it's really cool looking. Yeah. So they've saved oh man, I forget how much. I'll have to go back and look. But they've also, he tried to say, hey, if the federal people that you want to come back to work, if you don't, fine, walk. Here's your papers. And first the judge blocked it. Well, now the judge has come back and he's reversed it. A federal judge has removed a block he previously placed on the Trump administration buyout program for federal workers, and he's denied unions' request for further relief. As of this point, about 70,000 federal workers have accepted the buyout offer that came as a part of the Fork in the Road plan. I think it's great. You guys, I used to work for the government, and I saw some of the crappiest, excuse my language, people sometimes that worked. Literally show up, look like in their PJs, did not do a thing. So I say good riddance.
It's already up to 75,000.
Is it now 75?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're taking.
Oh, as of Thursday, yeah, no, it's 75. Sorry, missed that.
Is that an admission of guilt?
I just think that they're not willing to. I think they know if they go back to work, they're going to have to really work. They're not just going to be able to sit there and take a paycheck and really do nothing.
Well, what else are they going to do? Have you known government employees? Do you know how little they work?
I used to work with
Where
them.
are you going to go to get another job to replace that gravy train? What kind of skills must they possess to actually get out in the workforce and do something? I've seen 3 of them painting one sign pole. There's a lot of this government waste that goes on, and they've been on the, and now they have to go into the office, so I'm just going to quit. I'm going to take the resignation, the buyout. It's crazy to me. It's like, how bad must it be?
Hey, Rolf, good to see you. By the way, a shout out to Rolf. You guys put it in the comments. He just lost his big furry baby.
I was actually taking my 6-wheeler over there. If you guys saw that footage, there was a bridge out, and I didn't let that stop me. I didn't want to drive all the way around. I wanted to go see my buddy, and I actually took my 6-wheeler across the flooded creek, and it was a blast.
Yeah, it was actually kind of a scary video because I'm not sure if I'd have been in the 6-wheeler. But anyway, you guys give a shout out to Rolf. He lost his furry baby, and he said, "I want to know how those that are screaming so loud have become multimillionaires serving the oh man, you want to talk about a pet peeve of mine? I watched a video the other day about that, Rolf, and they said literally they make like $270,000, or maybe it was $170,000 a year. How did they end up having a portfolio of 80 million? You know they're getting kickbacks. You know that they are, well, heck, when I used to work for the government, when people would reach a certain age, they would start contracting with other companies, and as soon as they left, they had a gravy train job lined up based on what they would give, what they were able to do for them while they were working in the government. I've seen it firsthand. So absolutely, the corruption. Well, it makes my blood boil, but the corruption is like massive when it comes to that stuff. And usually those companies are friends of someone that's in Congress. That's what I watched or saw. Need term limits. Man, I don't know why we don't have term limits. Every time they try to bring it up, of course, it's voted down. Trump says he's going to do it.
Who's that guy that can't, he locks up on camera?
Mitch McConnell, yes.
Why is that guy in there?
They pulled him out.
What is the deal?
They wheeled him out in a wheelchair to go to his car the other day.
That is beyond stupid. He should have been gone a long time ago. He should have done 4, 5, 6 years, 10 years, whatever's right, and then he should have been out.
I completely agree.
It's the same thing with deadbeat Joe Biden. He wasn't there pushing the buttons and signing. He was just doing, I don't know what to do. They're just taking advantage. They're pawns that are being taken advantage of because they don't know any different. And they weren't good people to begin with, I'm pretty sure.
Probably not. Okay, so I want to give you some more. This is facts. This is from the White House of wasteful spending that's been going on. And it just blows my mind because we have to budget. Chris and I, if we lived like this, we would be bankrupt. We would be on the streets. You couldn't afford $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and exclusion in Siberia's workplaces, not even ours. We're talking across another country. Oh, and by the way, I want to go on to the World Health Organization just had a meeting this week, and they are freaking out that we're pulling all this funding. But I'll keep going. $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland. $2.5 million for electrical vehicles for Vietnam. $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia.
$47,000.
$32,000.
Transgender operation.
$32,000 for a transgender comic book. $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. And it goes on and on. You guys go to the White House, and maybe I'll try to put that link in here.
Is this, okay, so how does this look to you, like the transgender comic book? It seems like, hey, all you have to do is put transgender around whatever you want, and we can get you the money. I think that's how it goes down. And by the way, when it comes through you, it gets to come back to me. I get the lion's share of it, but we're going to try to send it your way and launder it back towards me.
I think it is.
And then my bank account goes up, and I only make, $250,000 a year in Congress, but I'm worth 20 million, 30 million. That is exactly what I believe to be going on.
Well, I mean, you look at the condoms they were sending over to Gaza, and you got funding to print personalized contraceptive birth control devices in developing companies. You've got hundreds of millions of dollars for irrigation canals, farming equipment, and even fertilizer to produce. If we're going to support the heroin production in Afghanistan.
Poppy cultivation.
You guys,
in
it just goes
Afghanistan.
on and on. This is on the White House website. This isn't something I'm making up. I try not to say it unless I can prove it. But I'm blown away at all the excessive waste they found. And what we're looking at a month now. Well, Monday will be a month that he's been in office, and that's insane. You guys tell me if you guys have heard of any crazy stuff like that you have seen. Hey, y'all, driving through Louisiana. Hey, welcome to Louisiana.
It's wet here.
Yes, it is. Very, very wet.
It's wet. It's been raining, raining, raining.
All right, you go to the next one.
Go to the next one.
Well, there's another one that he's done this week also. Well, first off, I want to talk about the World Health Organization. So they met this week, and I watched their live question and answers video, which was about an hour long, because I was curious to see. All these reporters were asking questions, and every single one of them were freaking out because we are withdrawing from the World Health Organization, which I did not realize, but we're one of the only countries that when we joined, we did some type of provision. You guys might know a little bit more about this than me, but where we are allowed to withdraw. I did not realize if you join the World Health Organization, most countries, you cannot withdraw. You can go inactive, but you cannot withdraw. So let me know if you've heard of something like that, because I don't know. I didn't realize that. But anyway, we fund about 39% of their budget, which funds the whole world. And I broke it down, actually put it on our Twitter page of how much we fund and every other organization funds, and all the stuff that we provide that we don't even provide to our vets here. I guess that's the take. That's what really makes me very angry. When I was going through this White House, of all this stuff that we spend everywhere else on stupid,
She's
insane
talking about
stuff.
whitehouse.gov. You should check it out. You should check out that, and also check out the WF, the World Economic Forum.com.
And we don't even take care of our vets. We've got homeless people here. We've got people that are really messed up. North Carolina, all those people. I had people sell back precious metals the other day so that they could help themselves, which I'll give you the spot prices on that in a minute. And I had people in California sell back precious metals because they're in a bind because the government is not even helping. But we're sending all this money overseas. I get really angry.
I know, it's wild. It's just what you expect from a collapsing superpower. Same thing was going on Rome when it was collapsing. They were funding wars all over the place and wasting money and had inflation, all the stuff that's actively happening now. It makes me sick as well.
Yeah, with all the reporters that were asking questions at that World Health Organization, every single one of them were like, well, what are we going to do if the United States pulls out? How are we going to get funding for this country? And I'm like, why are we funding all this stuff? I mean, I get it. And Gates came out and said millions of people are going to die because we're not funding all this stuff. All right.
Yeah, well, of course they are. He's already put that into motion. That's all, he knows that's coming. So.
Yeah. Can I tell a funny story?
Sure.
So you guys know we sell precious metals, silver and gold.
That's one of that number's up there.
Yes, by the way, if you want
that's
a price
Stacey's
list,
number.
I'd be glad to help you. Sonny just said hi. Hi, Sonny. What did you say? Hold on, I'll repeat. And I'll tell you a funny story. I know someone like myself and didn't get into legal issues because he's one of those type figure out take advantage of the line. It was actually nice to meet you the other day, Sonny. So, funny story. So I sell precious metals, and I got my hands on the mugshot of Trump on a silver bar. I can't get them anymore. Sorry, you guys. I can't. I think I still have a few of the ones where he's going fight, fight, fight. If you're interested. But I noticed the other day they posted on the White House page. He took that mugshot, made a huge portrait of it, and hung it right outside the Oval Office. So every time he said the Democrats walk in, they have to see his mugshot staring at him. But I can't get those anymore. But silver right now is $32.28. Gold is $2,889.50. So premium is way down. So if you're interested in premium or you just kind of want to shop around, text me. I'll give you my price list. Your number is backwards. Oh, it's probably because it's flipped. Yeah, it is flipped in the screen. It's 318-564-5823.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it does that now.
It does. Flip it, sign, please, it's backwards. It does that when we put it on the camera. It used not to do that.
I can see it really good, though.
What's
I can read it backwards.
318-564-5823?
You can put it in the comments if you want to. What do you think's going on with Doge and the IRS? Do we have any on that? Because that is really exciting. If we could get down to the bottom of how the IRS was auditing Christian conservatives, make no mistake about it, that was absolutely happening. How corrupt and awful is that? Are we going to do away with the IRS? That would be amazing. Like the fair tax, like Huckabee.
Yep.
Like Huckabee wanted to put in place. I thought that was perfect. It makes perfect sense to me.
So the last I researched on it, and you guys tell me if you've heard anything new, he did the executive order, but then I think a federal judge came out and said that it was not legal, or he was going to stop it for now. So as of now, I don't think he's gotten his hands on the IRS information. But if you guys have heard something different, please let me know. I know that they're trying to, but I don't think he has his hands on those documents yet.
Did you see Elon Musk speaking in the Oval Office?
Yes.
With his little kid.
Yes.
His little son was there, just hanging all over him, climbing on his head.
Poking in his ears.
I loved it. It was like bringing personality and real caring. It seemed like he cares about finding all the flaws and what's been going on, and he's just going for it. And it's not an act where you get up there and say all the proper things. It's like, and he has a good answer for every question.
I got to give Trump credit too, though. He, instead of taking credit for it, he said, Elon Musk, you tell him what you're finding. But on the other hand, I don't know what I think about Elon Musk. I still am on the fence. But I will say this, he's putting his whole reputation out there because all these people now have turned against him. It's amazing the people that have come out and used to really like him, and now they cannot stand him. Man, whenever you stand up for something like that and take a stand, and we've been there in certain smaller like areas, but when you take a stand on something, people you think you're a friend will flip on you in 5 seconds flat.
Yeah. Everybody wants you to do good until you do better than them, you know, or maybe you want what's right and what they're doing is not right. Elon Musk, you said I don't like him. You don't know if you like him.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to think about
But it doesn't matter, because if he'll streamline all this garbage and save $1 billion, $4 billion a week, what was it?
I forget what it was, but they had a
reverse some of this
I can find the
crappy spending, unbelievably wasteful stealing of tax dollars. We can all agree on that. If he'll do that, then what else? What's there not to like? You know what I mean? He's a pretty impressive guy. Like, you know, I'm building wood splitters and rocket stoves, and he's sending people to Mars and doing, you know, rockets anyway. It's really nuts.
He said he has, I watched an interview one time about him. He's a very interesting person. You have to give him that. He said he doesn't sleep very much. And he has so many ideas in his head that he can't physically get them all done. So he has to write them down, and I guess he just takes some of them and goes forward with some of them. He said he has ideas in his head like all the time.
I feel like I would really get along with him.
I think you would.
When he goes to talk, so he kind of stumbles. He has to really, because he's having 1,000 different thoughts.
Yes.
And he's trying to figure out which way to go, and he's analyzing each thought before he talks about it. I can see it happening, and I just think he'd be really neat to get to know.
Eric just said Elon wants to put a chip in everyone. I know, so.
Well, maybe.
I'm torn, but he's very much into the AI, into the modern pushing agendas forward.
Well, you know what I think? I said it the other day. Remember the little kid that was on his back? Maybe that's the one that gets all the chipping done. You know, we don't know. We don't know. All we know is God's in control, and that's in the mail. Right?
It is.
In the meantime, since we don't know, good job, Elon, for
He is. He's cleaning house.
auditing the government.
He does. All right, and I got another one now. So, because you guys know RFK Jr. just got finally confirmed, which they gave him a heck of a time. That's another guy that I really have to commend because his whole family turned on him, including Caroline coming out and made that horrible video, which, by the way, she's paid by Big Pharma. But he's just revealed that the Trump's DOJ is going to launch a RICO investigation and to prosecute the collusion between medical boards, medical journals, and Big Pharma. If that's true, I tried to look it up, and everything I can find so far says that he has come out and said that, then that will be a huge investigation if he does that. That's when you do RICO, that's a federal law. That's you don't play around with that because we used to do RICO cases, and that drags in a bunch of people.
Well,
so
it's time, right?
I think it is. All right, keep going.
Well,
you got another one? If not, I do.
No, you go with yours.
Trump orders defunding of schools and universities that mandate the COVID vaccines. They've also come out and they've said they're going to start saying that they're putting together a database of the things that the vaccines have caused. And we'll see if that actually comes true. But it says, this was actually Friday, he signed an executive order prohibiting federal funds from going to all schools, K-12, and universities that require COVID-19 vaccines. He said he's going to end the era of the COVID-19. That solves the problem, he said. No states
end coercive COVID-19 vaccine. That, I mean, a little too late. You know, that was my hang up. Was it not yours?
I struggle with the fact that he did the... So,
a little too late to do the right thing now, you know.
That's a song, isn't it? So I struggle with this a little bit. He's coming out of the gate, and I love the stuff he's doing, but I also can't forget the fact that he went along with it initially. But I don't know if he was just... I mean, he had Fauci on.
That's pardoned, by the way.
Hopefully not. Well, okay, so here's another question on that pardon thing, and you guys jump in and tell me if I'm right or wrong. But if the pardon does hold up, from what I understand, they can't claim the fifth, and so they're required to testify under oath. I've heard that also. So I don't know. I'm watching that to see. Camera needs to be turned around. I know, Michael. Sorry, you just look in the description for that number. We'll try to fix it next time.
I did that. I got skills.
Turned around.
Okay, can you still see us right? Does that work? Does that look better? You can see the Doge savings on the world debt clock. Yes, Bob, you can. I think that's really cool that they added that. Okay, is that better?
Is that better, everybody? Yeah, the debt clock. That's I just wonder if you can redo all the damage that's been done.
Now you guys are reversed. Sorry, you guys.
Oh, look. What's wrong with that?
Well, they think I'm sitting on this side because I was sitting over here. Yep. Okay, another little interesting tidbit, because I consume this stuff all week long when I'm working, putting orders in, just working even around the house. A lot of times people say, you know, what do you watch on TV? I typically don't watch movies. I put a documentary or something like that on. Rolf says, perfect, good. Well, at least we're looking good now. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. So once again, I'm watching him. I'm curious to see if his actions actually say who he really is. I saw him working out with one of the platoons the other day, which, you know, he was, because he's former military. But I found an interesting tidbit about him. Cash, the guy that they're trying to get in for the FBI director. He's divorced and dating a younger girl, which I don't care because I'm older than him, so I'm not going to say anything about that. By the way, you don't want to know the age I turned yesterday. But Cash's ex-wife owns a restaurant with Pete's wife, Jennifer, in New York. I don't know, just kind of an interesting thing. So they've got a relationship. Sometimes I wonder if the ties that you get sworn in because you know this person.
Oh, and for sure.
So I hope they're really legit.
It's not what you do or what you know, it's who you know.
Yes, I hope they're really legit and they're really looking out for the best interest and they're not just getting the job because they knew someone. I'm hoping.
Okay, if
Anyway.
you're a politician, you're a little dirty. Okay, that's the way I see it. If you're a career politician, you're a little dirty. That's just, it's part of it.
It seems like it.
Hopefully that's turning around a little bit. I have a hard time believing it, but we'll see. How do you see it any other way? Do you think these people are doing it for the better good of the United States, or they're doing it for themselves to gain power? And I'm even talking about Trump too. I like what he's doing. A lot of people have that. They have that. He wants to leave his mark.
I hope, and it seems
that's good.
like.
I mean, so far.
It seems like this time around he doesn't really care as much, because he can't go another term.
He's getting stuff done.
And he's getting stuff done. It's like he's been years preparing for this. That's what it seems like to me. So.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you for being here. If you have any precious metals needs, we've had people selling back, buying more. People use it to maintain their wealth. A lot of it's like your own bank. Be your own bank, And I encourage people to get 2 or 3 bids. I always get 3. You can send your email to that number, and Stacey will send you the price list. That way you can shop around. We're about to do a series on just kind of breaking down spot versus premium. What does it mean? We've been in it for a long time. I've been friends with Andy Shakeman a long time. And if you're interested, that's her number. Send your email, and she'll get you the price list. You can go from there. Have an awesome, awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.